Twice, third time's a charm. I'm going to do a TV tray, see, that I normally keep my kitty food on. And I'm going to do it in the same granite style. So I have some black in the bottom here, and they've been mixed with Golden Skak 800, so some gold. Add that to the black. And what I'm going to do is mix my colors first. Bit of silver. And then I'm going to put the base coat down. So I'm trying to keep the paints off where I have the canvas or the board, so I could keep it dry and clean and all that good stuff. And like I said, I'm really new at this, but this color combination seems to be working for me. And this is a bronze that's mixed with Floetrol and GAC. And I love the color. So I'm going to set that there, and I'll filter these in as I go. Then I have some copper that I'm going to put a squirt in. And then some of the Behr paint. Now I'm going to try to do for the base too is I'm going to mix the base. Now this one has silicone in it, so let me not use that one. Let me use the regular mix, which is half paint, half Floetrol, some GAC 800, and it's sticking to the cup. But I've already mixed this one, and this is just paint. There's no, well, there's just a little bit of Floetrol in there. But I'm adding this color, so when I put down the base, I'm going to try to do some of the Behr beige, and I'm going to try to put in some of the black and kind of blend them together. So when I add these colors over top, it'll give more of a granite look to it. Now, hopefully I won't. Let me see if I can skip those and go to my next little song here and not get in trouble for it. But this is just for me, for learning, and it keeps me happy and more relaxed. Putting some white in there, and then I'll layer again. And I'll put in the black without silicone, so I have enough paint to cover this. And again, this repeats. So bronze. Using a bigger cup this time because I want to make sure I have enough paint to cover it. And I'm going to turn this up instead of down, but let's see what I can do here. Okay, and a little bit of Behr. And then a little bit of bronze. Layering these colors as best I can. And maybe a splash of white. And right now I'm up to about 10 ounces of paint, so I'll add a little bit more and layer again. Do black and the gold and a little bit of silver. Probably going to have way too much paint. A little bit of bronze. That and a backache. Got done doing yard work today and decided to come in and do this. And I'm going to end with a little bit of that. The first color in, it's a little heavier, so it's sinking to the bottom, if you can see that. I'm going to set it aside so I don't spill it all over the canvas. And I'm actually watching a video of myself of one that I had done earlier on a round tabletop and listening to Dublé here play Captain of My Heart. Okay, so I'm going to take the black that has silicone in it and the Behr acrylic house paint that has silicone in it. And I haven't tried this on the other ones, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do part black and part beige and try to swipe them. So I'm going to do it like in two different patterns here. And hopefully this will work out. Last time all I did was put down the beige Behr paint, which is this one, and it was okay, but you really couldn't see it. So I'm going to try doing half and half and see how this works. So set that aside. And this has been just lightly scuffed. And do a thin layer of black on this side. And then do some of the Behr on that side. And like I said, if they mix, it's okay because they're both in the cup pour as well. What I don't want to do is spill them all over the table, which is a neat trick of mine. So I'm going to use this. And this is a spatula for making omelets, OXO. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to pour this out, or not pour it, but spread it out, cover the top. And this is such good control. So much control with this. And what I'm trying to do, and I should have probably put this on a turntable too, but I didn't. And all I'm going to do is this half and half here. And now take the black side and just spread it out on the other side. And as you can see, it'll make it be a little more fluid. And then, as this base coat is just meant to help the other paints move, I'm going to see if I can get them as close together without smushing them too much together. There we go. Now, it doesn't matter if these blend together, because like I said, they're both in the paint colors. These paint colors are in the cup that is on the side over here. So that's my intention, is to use the base as a kind of a two-sided pour, but to have that silicone on the bottom. And we'll see how this works. So I'm going to set this aside, and now I'm going to take the colors, and for a wish and a prayer here, we'll start at, let's see here, this is going to come off a little silver, so I'm going to go in the center, and I'm going to go in big circles, or waves of banners, and then bring it over to the other side, and I've already got it spilling off, but I have enough paint. Now all I want to do is as you can see, it's the color combination that I love. Its pattern is really kind of random. Let's see if I can get some of that out. I'm going to take the spatula and kind of dig it out and pour it on the ends on here. And no matter how this comes out, I'll be happy because I love the colors. So we're going to go here and leave that there for a second, get the rest of it out, and let it drip off the thing, and then we're going to move it just a little. Now, the swipes that I'm going to do are just as if it was a pattern in granite. And this looks really weird at first, but it should be okay. And if not, I'm going to cry because I love the colors so much. And I would have rather them have been more vibrant, but I want the cell action too. So that looks pretty good. I'm going to set that aside and hopefully not tilt this too much so I don't end up with just mud. And what I'm going to do also is add, this one has the silicone, let me add just a little straight zigzag of black. So we have a serious vein that's coming through. There's a lot of paint, but I'd rather have a lot of paint than not have it look like anything in particular. So I'm going with solid colors now. Oh, this one's not going to come out. This one's going to be a pain here. It'll take too long. Maybe I could get just a little bit out. There we go. And as you can see, if you follow along the lines, if you're trying to do a granite pour, which is what I'm trying to do, and move your paints out of the way so you don't spill them all over the tabletop. That's why I use a little container at the end here. And this one, and now what I'm going to do is give it a quick torch, and then this is a little heavier, so be still my back, and let's pour this not pour it, but tilt it just a little bit so it gets some, I don't really want to mess with this too much. So what I'm going to do is hopefully get some of the colors on the side to just kind of pat what's there. So it'll draw the color off the edge and match what's on the top, because you'll see this if you're sitting down, and I don't want it to look like, let me see if we can pour some off that way, and get some on this side. And when I move this paint, because there's a lot of paint on this tabletop, there's more over here than I'd like there to be. However, let's move it a little bit this way, pour some of that this way, towards me, go back towards the other side, go towards the camera. Boy, is this thing heavy with paint and with just in itself. Now you see how nice that looks? Now here, what I'm going to do, and I understand now why they use their fingers. The color's right here. You're just touching it with your finger where the color is off on the side. And if you do that, the paint from on top is going to carry over the edge. And that gives it that true granite look. Because granite wouldn't stop on the top. You could always encase it, but what I'm trying to do is get the paint to move, have it not look like a mess. So, let's do that with the blade, and wow, I'm loving this. This is a pretty one. It's not too busy, but it does require a little bit of manipulation still. There's a lot of cells. There's some activity going on, so it'll pull it off the side. And if you can hear me, never let it be said that I'm soft-spoken. However, it seems that when I'm busy doing something, I'm not quite as I don't have quite as much volume as I normally do in real life. So my apologies if you're having any trouble hearing me. But let's see if I can just do a little dab over here, and maybe just another dab of black up here. Just a little bit. And then carry that through so it looks a little bit more, a little less random and a little more continued. I guess that's the way. Wow. I'll tell you, this is a color combo I will not get tired of. Now I'm going to walk around to the other side and make sure that there's stuff on the side of the wood. And let me see if I can get that corner too. So far so good. Oh, not too much over on here, so I'm going to have to pull up something from the bottom and pour off just a little bit this way so some of the color comes towards this side of the wood tabletop, and runs off just a little bit so we can encourage it to cover the sides. There we go. Now I know this probably, you can't see this, probably if I move it a little bit you might. If you see this on the side, see, this is where finger painting comes in. Because you take some of the color and all you're doing is encouraging the paint that's flowing off the top to come off the sides so it looks intentional. So it doesn't look, so it looks like it's a continuation, intentional. I'm not gonna worry about it too much. More of it will continue to flow. And this is, once again, I'm real happy with it. I'm not gonna keep stretching it so I don't lose it. I don't lose the cells. The big deep veins of black should be a little less. And I'm gonna see if I could just pull it just a little bit, not too much. There we go. Same thing here. Just want that to have a little more action, a little more activity, movement. That's the word I'm looking for. Wow. It's gonna be pretty. And then I'll take and I'll do the legs in probably black. See, now, I just did one, and I try so hard to learn from the masters online, and I come back to something that I've just tried. I haven't seen anyone do this particular style, and I love it. Now, for me to say that I've come up with a style, I really can't, but it's just a ribbon pour, just pouring in ribbons of color, and here is where I don't have enough on this corner to cover. You see the cells, there's, all we're trying to do is give it that granite look, that rock look. And rock forms the way it wants to form. Can't tell it what to do. Same thing with acrylic paint. You could try. You could put in colors. You could put in like if I want to add, for example, I'll add a ribbon if I can. If this is loose enough, I'll add a ribbon of this copper. Can't tell what kind it is on here, but it's Folk Art Antique Copper. And all I'm going to do is add, once again, like I did with the black, I'm just going to add a slight vein so it carries through. And that's what would happen, or what I've seen on granite pieces. You're not exactly creating, but you see that movement through. Even this one's a little bit too much, so I'm going to take that off. And there. Now most people will take a stick or something, skewer, and pull through, and I'm going to do that just a little so you can see what I'm talking about. But if you take a skewer, or hopefully a clean one, and I have tons of these, toothpicks, whatever, and you take a skewer, I'm going to use the flat end, and when you pull it through, you have more control now. And since I'm going through the copper, I'm not cleaning it. Normally, you would clean it in between so you're not dragging other colors. But in this case, that's exactly what I want to do. I want to drag it through as if it was following through a rock. And here it's one single line. Well, a lot of paint on here, but I don't care. I'm really not going to pour it all off and then lose all these beautiful cells. Now the area where there isn't cells, next thing I'm going to do is torch with dirty gloves and all, but what it'll do is it'll encourage the silicone that was in the base coat of black on this side and in the lighter color Behr paint on the right side, my right side. And what you should do, not only will it release any of the air bubbles and hopefully not set fire to anything on the table, but it'll make the cells, this is beautiful. And again, I haven't had a lot of luck with cells until I started using the GAC 800 and the Floetrol. Let me go on the sides here. Oh, that's amazing. I'm so happy. The last piece was such a bust, and this one looks amazing. Now see right here, I'm not crazy about that, so I'm going to try to drag it through and follow the grain. This one I will wipe because I'm going to go between. And all I'm doing now is looking for areas that, where if it was a piece of rock that was formed by molten lava or movement in the earth, it would move. It would puddle in areas like it is here, and it would move. So, this one's a wrap, and I'm thrilled. Run something along the bottom so it stops pulling off any of the paint. And then even on the other side, I could refinish this with a dark paint, but it's pretty well covered on the sides. So I'm going to take a look from back here and make sure that I didn't miss any spots. Got one or two, not very many. And even if it is, the table itself was in the same color palette. So got that side, because I can't move it around too much. I don't want to move it around, because then I'll end up pouring off paint that I don't want to pour off. So this is Angela with Creatively Done, and here's another tabletop done with Mars Black and some silicone as I put the lids back on, which is probably a good thing to do, and Behr paint. It's a house paint, and that had silicone in it as well. And don't do that over your painting. Learn my lesson there. And I don't have a lid. Oh, there it is. There's my lid. And silver, and these are tempera. Tempera is the food. Tempera is the paint. These were tempera paints, and I'm telling you, these have been the most responsive. Bronze, silver, and gold, and then Folk Arts antique copper, metallic antique copper. That one really adds that vein that you're seeing. So let me close up all these. Look at how pretty it looks on. This is by far the easiest spreading tool ever. This is meant for omelets, but this is by far the easiest spreading tool. And I'm going to spill it right on the table, right? So let me set it on top. And we got that done. All of our paints are covered. And these paints will keep. It's best to keep the ones that have silicone separate, so you know that the other ones are pure color and Floetrol and a little bit of GAC. And the ones that have the silicone in them, I keep them separate, because they're the ones that help raise up all those nice cells from the bottom. Nothing else had it in. Floetrol will give you cells, but this is amazing. See, this is when I get really happy. The other piece, I should just flash that in front of them. It was awful. I tried something that a very, very talented artist, Priscilla Betzel in Spring Hill, Florida does, and man, I'm telling you, you got it made, Priscilla, because I'm not sure anybody could ever mimic what you do. Another quick torch, and I'm done. I couldn't be happier. Couldn't be happier. Look at that. Look at all the cells in there. Not cooking the paint. Like Anne-Marie Riddenhoff would say, just flash it over it, so if there's any air bubbles, they'll pop. And with the GAC in there, it'll prevent crazing. No matter how thick this paint seems to be, I haven't seen anything crack. Turn off your torch. And then don't forget to turn off your recording. I managed to do that. If I recorded it at all, oh goody. All right, well, this is Angela with Creatively Done. It's August 19th, I believe, 2019. And another one done, granite style.